是我状态很好，但是我今天完全全都 interrupted， 所以就感觉到今天 need to take a break， 然后也许明天 can go back to yesterday's status， 然后就是说一起唱歌，你选的这首歌也挺好。
对啊，你会
觉得今天好像
没关系，你不唱歌的话，我听我唱也可以啊，你帮我指出来呀，对吧？
可以啊。
对啊，你这个不要作为负担，你知道吗？我呢也是这个叫什么，反正我自己，因为什么你知道吗？我觉得我自己唱的话呢，我每天也可以唱，但是呢，我有的时候自己觉得唱的话呢，这个动力啊，没有每天为你唱这样动力来的足，你知道吗？所以呢，你也给我了一种鼓励，你知道吗？就是因为有你，我才坚持每天唱，这个很了不起的，你说是不是？所以呢，我们平时的动作呢，就是就是说平时呢，你很敏感的，我就是喜欢跟你聊的时候，你就按照你的节奏，按照你的那个，比如说你今天不想唱，那我就唱呀，对吧？然后的话呢，
今天也不是不想唱，因为我其实早上起来洗了一个澡，然后就说我还是要唱歌的。
那你唱歌我就在一起唱的呀，就自己唱呀，就是你一个人唱呀，就是你现在
我没有那个全民 K 歌，
你不需要，我也没有的，我也没有啊。
全民 K 歌是什么？他们国内
没有，我没有，我也没有。你就是按照你现在平时的唱法，你平时怎么唱的？你拿出什么？
我平时呢，就是比较喜欢把自己喜欢听的歌呢，就跟着溜，就是这样。比如说，
那么你今天就把那个今天喜欢的这个橄榄树拿出来溜。如果你可以的话就溜，如果不可以的话呢，你溜你今天喜欢的歌。我们叫即兴的，我们都是即兴。
你这样吧，你今天已经练了半天了，你先唱一唱。
好的，我这个是破嗓子啊，五音不全的哈，你要抱歉啊。但是我们就是我们要你就像你鼓励我一样，没事，因为我们为什么？我们这个唱这个歌的本身并不是为唱歌而唱歌的，对不对？所以你看我现在群里边，讲到这个群，
不用废话少说，赶快唱。
那么期待我唱歌呀。OK， 好的，我喝口水啊，这样的话我嗓子那个OK， 好，我呢要站起来唱，可能帽子脱掉 OK， 然后呢，对你不看到我的话，我更加出唱，你知道吗？OK， 好。
你有录像吗？还是
我准备把这个我的录音录下来。我现在把 Zoom 会打开哈，我把它录一录的话，不管怎么样哈，我把那个对，因为这个我们就是生活的记录，你知道吗？我们不要特地去做什么事情，你懂我这意思吗？你知道吗？所以能够得到你的鼓励。对，好 ，listen 啊，那个要笑的话呢，你就是捂住嘴巴，把静音闭起来啊，静音。然后你在嘲笑的话，人家听不出来，你知道吗？开玩笑啊，好。前面有段那个朗诵哈，我自己稍微改了一下啊。好，现在呢唱这一首《橄榄树》。橄榄树呢，唱的时候呢，你就像走进了一个梦。一个由音符谱出的梦，一个梦里梦外都是音符的梦。我还没有时间把这段东西改一改，这段东西改的话就很好了。OK， 想啊，看我这个把这个声音给拿出来。你要告诉我，就背后是不是能听见啊？等一下，要太响了、太轻了，你也告诉我啊。这个声音怎么样？太响吗？
没有。
然后我就不知道我唱的时候能不能盖住啊？我把这个不是很响，也不是很轻，是吧？正好是吧
？Yeah, just go ahead.
Okay. Thank you for your encouragement. Okay. 这是一个有音符可住的梦，一个梦里梦外都是音符的梦。可以听见我讲话吗？可以啊。问我从哪里来，我的故乡在那远方，为什么流浪远方，流浪。飞翔的小鸟，为心间停留的消息，为那有宽阔的草原，流浪远方，流浪。树，我要问我从哪里来，我的故乡在远方，为什么流浪？为什么流浪？橄榄树，问我从哪里来？我的故乡在远方，为什么流浪？流浪远方，流浪。等一下，最后的音乐也要放完啊！就让它远远的、慢慢的过去，你知道吗？对呀。
这个歌选的很好，这个歌。
你知道是谁选的吗？
谁选的？
这是我最尊敬的，在华府地区的我们华人的声乐老师张丽慧老师，他就在群里那时候对呀。后来我今天又发了这个他的唱歌，他在我们的华府地区的歌唱，我等一下的话，到时候再把它转回来。好，那我这样，对呀，然后这样哈，你稍等一下哈，我呢就等一下呢。等一下，我这个已经完了，好了，那么这个怎么样？为你唱的，所以我这个对，哎 ，Lucy， 你好，我刚刚 beautiful 吗？可以吗
？Yeah, thank you.
可以哈 ，not bad， 这是练出来的。然后呢，这个张老师给我了很多的感染，你知道吗？你知道他这个叫什么？他不光是为学生哈，他还专门为那些残疾儿童教歌的，你知道吗？对呀，他跟我讲了一段故事，说的话我很感动的，你知道吗？这个孩子的话什么都不懂，什么都听不懂，哎，但他能够认出这个张老师能够在这个场，所以我很受他的感动。然后呢，他呢就是说不是讲那个 Teresa 妈妈的 Teresa 的一段话，你知道吗？ Life is a song, sing it。所以我现在呢，把那个群里边的群名改成什么了？你看到了吗？你觉得看了改到对吗？好不好？
生命是首歌，唱吧。
没有，我又进一步了。你看这个是不是修改的好？生命本身就是一首歌，好好唱它吧。
Yeah, it's about the same meaning, but I think you're adding too many stuff to it.
Too many stuff.
Do you want a simple translation to
Mark?
不是，
这个不是，我们是这样的哈。我呢，以前呢也是，当我是学生的时候呢，我也把这个语言翻译的时候呢，就是 word by verbatim translation.
Can I say my opinion?
Sure.
Basically, life is the song, sing it, right?
Yeah.
That is the original of the Mother Teresa.
Yes.
So basically, if you're interpreting or translating, you're adding extra word to it, it's actually damaging to the original author's meaning because simplicity is actually.
你讲中文。
我讲完英文哈。Simplicity is very profound. It's very profound. It's actually. 你知道我们中国人的文化是什么？就是等到你达到大师的程度，你才会越来越简化。你把那些多余的全部都去掉了，去繁从简，然后你最后达到的是真髓。所以呢，你加了那么多的东西在一个名字上，而且添枝加叶，在这个 Mother Teresa 这个话上，实际上弄巧成拙。In my opinion, OK? If you say life, 生命是首歌，唱吧，就是最简单、最纯真、最 original 的翻译。这是我的opinion 哈。
好的。
然后你们就说，你们翻翻说加了一大堆上去，对我认为不是很合适。什么？我认为不是很合适。
什么东西不是很合适啊？
因为你添枝加叶，在于本来你想用 Mother Teresa 这句话来成为主名，然后你又把它想翻成中文，对不对？那你就是生命就是首歌，唱吧，就是越简单越好。这本身它就本来的意思就是这个意思。
OK。
你这样，然后你加了一大堆其他它本来那句话里面没有的东西在上面，就我认为就是弄巧成拙。
好，非常好。然后我们这个可以在群里讨论一下啊，大家都觉得这个的话，我也是赞成你这个讲法，好不好？回来再修改，在修改之前的话呢，我也跟大家，对，不需要我的，大家发表意见就行了，对吧？
你说我有2个 version， 一个是这样的翻译，一个是繁琐的翻译，一个是。
但是我现在呢就是这样，现在的话就是说我中了这个呢，我是发自于自己内心的感受，你知道吗？那个生活本身就是一首很好的歌呀，你知道吗？真的要好好的唱它，要用这种感情来做。Mother Teresa 其实因为这个英语有的时候我也不知道他什么场合这样说的，我也不知道他什么情况这样说的，你知道吗？但是我能够感受他内心就是想让我们好好的唱它吧，你知道吗？所以我对，所以
我觉得那个摆明哈，我觉得跟你认识跟你交流，我觉得你特别的有很多的，就像一个火山一样。
哇，感恩。
要爆发出来。
感恩。
但是我这个人呢，因为我就是喜欢简洁，什么东西哈，我不喜欢太啰嗦，然后不管是讲英文讲中文哈，我就会喜欢比较 direct， 直截了当。但我们风格是不一样，我也不喜欢。所以就说有些时候哈，我觉得比如说你的 social media 很多东西哈，就是你的开场的时候特别繁琐，就是让人家就好像进入不了主题，然后你就人一开始，实际上你说你做 marketing， 实际上就是对头3分钟是镇住人的，你这3分钟就非常简明扼要，让人家就很知道你在说什么。然后你要是一开始呢就很啰里啰嗦讲一大堆，人家就失去耐心。等一下，让我理解一下，我们做什么 marketing？ 我们现在在这个群里边是歌唱生活啊，你怎么会做 marketing？ 对，我知道，
而且我在什么地方做这 marketing？ 我在什么地方 social media？ 我说 social media 还没开始呢，我现在那个 Instagram 都没有 ，Facebook 我还没好呢，我还开始。
I'm just giving you some feedback.
No. OK，let me finish。let me 讲啊，你这个很好的，一边讲中文一边，你知道我们现在有一个叫和老外英语聊天的那个吗？ 以后我们把这个题目也可以扩大到这上面，因为你又说英文，喜欢说一段英文，又喜欢说一段中文，这是最好的。你先生是老外是吧？
对。
啊，那就怪不得了。你们结婚多少年了
？10年了吧。
10年啊，那太好太好。那你知道吗？你要叫你先生一起来。我先生呢，我们呢已经多少年了？20多年了哈，20多年了。那我先生呢，就现在呢，最近呢，我不知道你先生干什么事情啊。我先生呢，现在呢就是这样，我们不是那个这个英语论坛嘛，英语聊天嘛，对吧？那我呢就会不同的时期呢邀请一些美国人来。那现在的话，如果邀请不到呢，我就叫我们那个先生呢，就充当这个叫什么代课老师，你知道吗？所以让他。
我先生是这个电影导演毕业的。
哦，那就这样，你让他来跟我联系，因为我现在在演习一场电影导演，这个就是帮我儿子也是导演，在电影导演 ，OK， 在中国的，那太好了。那我就跟你讲，你先生电影导演的话，他现在是仍然在做导演工作，还是退下来了？
没有，就是他以前写了很多的 screenplay， 就是他是有这个 background，
是 background， 现在没有做。
他现在没有 practice， 但是他是电影对他来说就是他的 passion。
OK， 那么好，那么我能够提个要求吗？就是说，那他现在 play 的哪些电影嘛？你可以给我们看看吧，了解一下什么样的电影。
他的电影都没有这个真正的 into production， 他是学这个电影 film director 的这个film academy 毕业的，有这样的 degree 的。
哦。
对，然后他的风格是 Stephen King 的风格。
Stephen King 啊，你跟我讲讲 Stephen King 是什么风格？我不知道哎。我就
Stephen King 的风格、
就是，我网上查一查啊。
就是那种偏，我也说不出来。他的风格就是比较 mysterious， 然后比较的那种。
Stephen King，
So can you give me a simple explanation about what is Stephen King's directing style?
Stephen King 让他上来讲好不好？
No, okay.
Stephen 不是 Stephen King movies. Hello.
Stephen King
is somewhat supernatural.
Somewhat supernatural.
I love that.
Psychological.
Drama.
Horror.
Psychological.
Wow. So what's your husband's name? What's her name? What's his name?
Mr. Chase.
Miss Chase, like a Chase Bank?
Mr. Chase Bank.
Wow.
He was born in Manhattan.
In Manhattan. That's so cool. What he is doing now, if not doing the movie?
Right now he's taking care of me.
Really? You know Chase? Do you know Chase? Do you know who I am? Can I introduce myself?
Yeah. Go ahead. Introduce yourself. This is by me.
哎，那你先帮我听听你怎么跟他介绍的，然后我再介绍好不好？Otherwise， 他要是觉得一个 stranger person 来的 ，that would be very dangerous, right? You will be horror 了。
I really rather just you introduce yourself. Yeah, it's okay. That introduce yourself.
Okay. What? Dangerous. Introduce I'm a stranger. Introduce myself. Isn't that dangerous? That would be the information about into your what horror movie, right? But Chase, what?
So by me's son is also in the movie industry in China.
Yeah. So Chase.
King is a writer.
Stephen King is a writer.
He does lots of movies.
He does lots of movies.
He's first a writer, a novelist.
He's a novelist and a writer.
你应该一边说他一边说英文，你应该翻译中文的，这样的话就很好了。I'm looking at Stephen King on my screen right now. Okay, Chase.
He's been around for 30, 40 years.
30, 40 years for what?
40年的历史，对，很有名的，在美国。
我知道。
就是他的 style， 他写作的风格就是跟他的风格是一样的。
Wow. Okay, let me ask you, Chase. Chase.
Yeah.
Jason, why you're interested in horror?
Honey, don't walk away. So
We have a question. I'm going to interview you, okay? Even though I cannot see.
Why are you interested in horror movies?
It's not horror. It's the idea of
It's
I just like the idea that that genre, you could say, is something that people deal with every day. Situations that are difficult make them think, okay, or make them try to solve a problem. And that type of style of movie is entertaining. Well, it's a challenge. I like to do things that aren't like so typical. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
you're very creative.
You're
very creative, right?
Some people say so.
I think so.
He's also an artist. 他也是个画家。
Really? What kind of?
I've been an artist.
Wow. What kind of like painting?
Art. Well, let's see. I've been doing artistic stuff my whole life. I started with charcoal and pencil.
Wow.
Drawing. I did some painting.
Wow.
I've done sculpture, multimedia stuff.
Wow.
Went to school and learned about computers.
Mm.
But I just, whatever it doesn't matter what media is in, I can like do things,
Mm. Mm.
So
That's
whatever.
Good. So what? Okay. So what I'm just trying to ask you, in order to understand you, because Stephen King looks like your model or whatever you are, devoted. You were willing to devote your time and life to, right?
That's what people used to call me in film school. That's why.
Really? So I would
I
like.
didn't decide to be Stephen King.
I know. So that's
what they compared me with.
Sure. So that's why I'm interested in learning more about what you described. But in order for me to understand, to feel for it, because artists usually have to feel, right? So I would ask you can you give me some example? Like, I really interested in this particular part that you mentioned, like daily life challenge, and help people to figure out a way to handle it, right? Rather than depressed or anxiety, because in this society, in current time, is so important. So I think that if I can dig out, because otherwise I will look at the art, horror or whatever, suspense, crime, the science fiction, all this, it didn't connect with me. But when you mentioned that the daily life challenge, figure out a way to handle it, that's something kind of like strike me. So I would love to have you give me some examples so I can understand as a layman language. I'm not the artist, professional artist. Do you see what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So hold on, because we will have some. Okay, so go ahead. Sorry, I don't know whether I catch you a good time or not, but yeah, Lucy.
Probably the easiest thing for me to tell you is one of my screenplays I haven't made yet. And it's got up for revision because I'm going to change it, make it longer. But have you ever heard of the Twilight Zone or Night Gallery or any of those kind of
a little bit
shows?
A little bit, but yeah, a little bit. I would love to learn more about it if that's something you are really, really interested in. Okay,
well, the reason I say that is because I wrote it for that time frame.
Really?
They're only they're like a half an hour long.
Wow.
The actual presentations, because it's a TV show.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a full length movie.
I see.
Feature movie, but I'm going to make it one. I decided I was going to rewrite it eventually. Anyway, this screenplay, the story, is about a man who's 30 years old,
You can type. You can ask her. Excuse me. You can ask Lucy to type the name of the something. Okay, if they already had the name of the show. So I'm sorry. Go ahead. Continue, please.
I'm just going to tell you that the treatment, the rough outline of what the story is about. Because
Okay.
I don't have time to talk about the other ones.
Sure. Maybe you know what, Chase. I don't think it's fair for you to just, because I'm just catching you without notice at all, you know. So initially I would just.
Okay.
Are you sure?
If I went.
Just let him tell you the story.
Yeah. If I was going to Hollywood, try to sell one of my screenplays, I'd give you 5 minutes.
Oh, okay.
That's what we were taught.
Okay. Okay. So if you feel comfortable, go ahead.
So this is kind of like a pitch.
All right.
Okay? So it's about this man, 30 years old, and he's pretty much like very messed up, not happy with his life or anything else. And it's his birthday, and he's basically, excuse my language, but he's an asshole.
Okay.
And so what happens is that he has, it's his birthday and he's working, and he ends up getting in trouble because he doesn't pay attention to what's going on with his job. He prints labels at a winery, and he lets it go. He lets the machine go and everything because he's too busy dancing around with the music, because he works by himself, and he gets fired. He gets fired. So that's the first thing that goes wrong with his life. Then he also has an alcohol problem, so he's drinking, and that's part of the problem. And he goes, he gets fired and gets kicked out of the building, and a pigeon kind of outsmarts him. Basically, it shits on his head, and he gets mad and he runs after the pigeon, and he ends up falling down into this. It's like a root cellar where they store stuff. And he finds this bottle. It's a blue bottle. And he actually knocked himself out. He found the bottle when he woke up, and he takes it. So then he leaves, and one of the things he does is goes, of course, he gets more alcohol, you know. And then he goes home, and his girlfriend's really nice, and she gets a cake for him and everything, and he's in a bad mood. And so he basically ruins that moment, and he leaves. And one of the things he does is he remembers some of the things as a child, whatnot. Just memories make him, try to make him feel better. And he goes to a place that he used to go when he was a kid. And it's kind of in the country. It's on a country road. And on the top of the hill, there's a big oak tree. So he goes to the oak tree. As he's going to the oak tree in his car. Now I'm leaving some things out. I'm just kind of giving you an idea what happens to this guy. He sees this kid, and this kid is balancing on top of a fence. He's walking on top of this fence. This kid that's like, I don't know, 12 years old. And he goes, that's kind of weird. Why is this kid there? And this is like what Stephen King does, okay? He puts a person in an unusual situation. But yet it could happen. It's not impossible, right? So he goes up to this place, and he kind of camps there with his car, and he is sitting at this campfire underneath this tree, and he decides to open this bottle because it's glowing, and it has a picture of it, kind of a devil on it, engraved in this glass. It's blue glass, and he starts drinking it, and it's getting him pretty intoxicated. But then his throat, he gets like something in his throat. He doesn't like it, so he throws it into the fire, and of course it explodes. And then he sits down, and the next thing he notices, somebody sitting in front of him in the campfire, and it's an old man. And he says, "What are you doing here?" And the guy starts talking to him and says, life, talks about life, basically. So he gets fed up because his pattern is to be, obnoxious. And he tells him to go away, and the next minute he's gone. So he falls asleep, and the next thing he remembers is he's kind of somewhat coming to, and his car is being towed, and he's inside the car, and he can't get out of the car, so he just falls asleep, and nothing happens until later when he wakes up because the car had been taken off the tow truck, and he's in this place. It's a giant junkyard. And the junkyard has all these cars welded together like a beehive honeycomb, honeycomb. And there's a man that's cutting his car up and stuff. So he's trying to get out of the car, and he can't really get out of the car. But then these lights are moving around and stuff, and it's because it's nighttime. What he notices is that there's people on all of these cars. They're welded together. Everybody has their own little car that they're in. And when he finally gets out, there's a couple things I left out, like there's another character, but he gets out and he realizes that these people are like in their cars trapped, and he's running around, and he keeps like running past these cars. His life is flashing by him and everything. And what's happening is everybody that's in a car has their own nightmare, living it over and over again. So he finally does escape out of the area, and he's being chased by these dogs, and they're trying to attack him and stuff. It's on the ground, and he passes out. And the next thing he sees is the daylight when he looks up. And there's a cow standing over him, and it's looking at him. Oh, I'm sorry, I have to go back. The next thing he remembers is he opens his eyes, and it's all fuzzy and everything, and he's choking. That's it. He's choking, right? And what had happened was he hung himself in the tree. And things are starting to go black, and then what he realizes is he's on the ground looking up, and there's a cow looking at him, right? Because he's in the farmland area, it's in the country, and so he's looking up at a cow's face, and then this man bends over, and he went out looking for his cow. So it turns out that the guy that cut him down, the farmer, was the same guy in the junkyard that was cutting his car up. And so the end of the movie, I mean, this is what I wrote originally, but I've been changing some of it. I got more detailed in it. The end of the movie's title is "So Why Don't You Kill Me?" And that's the screenplay.
Wow. So did you publish? Did you?
No, it was only written after the draft, but I'm going to redraft that one.
Really? How long it will take?
My shorter one.
How long it took you? How long it take you to write the draft? Couple years? Couple years?
No. No.
Wow.
Maybe 4 or 5 days.
Really? That was quick.
It's an easier one.
I know.
It's not as
So you have a degree in the theater or in the documentary or what?
I have a degree in film and video.
It's a bachelor's or master's or PhDs?
No, I just have an associate's degree, but I have a little over 3 years of college. I have 2 associate degrees. I have another one in computers.
Really? A computer? Wow. 2 degrees in what field? Also film?
No, multimedia.
Multimedia.
He also has a degree in police academy.
Yeah, I went to the police academy and I worked for the government for 8 years.
Really? Wow, you're multitask, you're multi-talents, right?
Well, now I'm just retired.
You retired. You sound like very young. How old you are? Do you mind I ask you how old you are?
you guys the same age.
What?
You guys the same age.
See, my same age. I'm not going to retire. I'm just studying new life.
What was your which year were you born?
56.
Older.
Older 1 year.
55.
You only one,
Yeah.
maybe, no, which month?
February.
February.
Yeah, so February, I'm August, so it's not like a year. So if I'm not retired, you can read. Okay, let me ask you. You enjoy your retirement, right?
I don't know.
You don't know, which means not. Okay, that's okay. You accept the fact.
Well, the thing is this.
Mhm.
I've done a lot of things.
Mhm.
You know, I mean, a public servant. I worked to help people, and I've worked to make money. And my retirement was supposed to be something for me to do the other part of my life I've been neglecting, which is to be creative and work in other things.
Yeah.
And being picky enough to just do what I want to do. And Lucy was supposed to be, part of that with me, and she was going to work on things that she wanted to do.
What are the things she want to do? Is a movie also? Film also?
I think she wanted to be part of my life in that respect, because I haven't really shared that with her.
Oh.
Since I met her and her daughter, it's been more like, trying to build the family and trying to make ends meet and do those kind of obligations, But, then she got sick. So now we just kind of live day to day right now. We need to get her healthy and myself.
Sure.
So those things are kind of like on the burners,
Do you have any belief?
About what?
Like you believe God or believe Buddhism or believe yourself or what?
I was raised Catholic, but I don't
Oh.
follow Catholicism. I believe there's something there. I believe in angels. I've had my own. I'm very spiritual. She doesn't see that because I haven't had time to take my time, and just like going up in the mountains and stuff. But I just.
I think she is spiritual too, right? Lucy is also very spiritual too, right?
She wants to be. If she isn't, I know that.
Want to be what? Want to be spiritual?
I think so. I think she is.
I think she's pretty. I think she's very. But you don't have to be like baptism, or you don't have to be that, but you can be spiritual, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So I think that's what, in that sense, she's very, I think. Well, Lucy, what do you think about yourself?
Yeah, I'm very spiritual. We wouldn't be here talking if we're not spiritual.
Why? Why you say that?
Because we are spiritual beings. You, me, and Jim.
Why you say me? Why you say? Huh?
Jim.
Jim?
Jim and
Jim?
Jim, yeah.
Who is Jim? He. Your husband is Chase. How come become Jim?
His last name is Chase. First name is Jim.
Oh. So which one you prefer me to call you?
James.
Jim.
J-I-M?
J-I-M.
Okay. Jim. Okay, nice to meet you. And I think I'm here. You believe angel, right? So I think I'm the angel in your life, come to both of your life right now. But we will see.
That's nice.
Yeah, that's nice. What do you want to say? Lucy, do you?
Tell us a little bit about your background.
Okay, all right.
About who you are.
How is Jim's English or Chinese level? Can you understand Chinese?
He doesn't know any Chinese.
I know words. That's it.
In the words, what kind? What
All his ex-girlfriend are Chinese.
Oh, they are.
girlfriend Chinese? Yeah, I kind of like.
He likes Chinese.
So you. I kind of like to. I think that I have very good sense about what your husband look like. So not look like, what kind of thing? Okay, Lucy, can you send a picture of your Jimmy to me, And I will next session, I will tell you who he is without telling me who your husband is. How's that?
We don't want to scare you.
Why? Why you
Yeah.
you look like terrible, like a horror?
I'll say.
Yeah, I'm pretty horrible.
Horrible. I can tell. I can tell. You know why?
He's actually pretty good looking.
Yeah, you're pretty looking. Yeah, let's give a surprise. So in the future, we need to be on Zoom meeting and with your face show up, okay?
You know who Stanley Tucci is?
You know who Stanley Tucci is?
No, don't ask me all those. Okay, I'm not the artist.
Look up Stanley Tucci. I look a lot like him.
He looks like.
Oh, really? Let me see. Let me look. Let me type. Okay, that's very interesting. Okay, how to spell that?
Stanley, STANLEY.
Yeah. Tucci, Tucci.
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 I found
TUCCI.
that. American actor also.
Yeah.
He has he looks like a twin brother with him.
You like that? Is which one? One look like a,
Some bow tie.
you look like when you are young or when you're old? So Stanley, okay, let me see. Stanley Tucci is an American actor. Actor, writer, producer, and a former fashion model involved in acting now from a young age. He made his film debut in John Hudson's Praises Horror and continued to play. Yeah, you all like the horror actors, all. Yeah, that's very interesting. That's very interesting. But do you want to be young?
Of course.
Of course, or not? Jim?
Of course.
No, I didn't hear your Jamie response.
What? I want to be young.
Yeah, when you say I'm looking at a horrible, so that means you want to look more handsome, right? Or young, look healthy. Okay.
Yeah, he cares about being healthy and being young.
Okay, let me ask you how you I know you care, how you do things that you can really care your body, mind, and spirit.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
he's
she has a
been,
question for you.
What?
She said she knows that you care about being young and healthy, but what exactly do you do to get there?
excellent translator.
What I've done my whole life. I try to eat right. I've been an athlete for a number of years.
Really? You must be very fit.
Well, I'm not right now because I have some illnesses, but
What kind?
I've
Do
been
you, but
taking care of myself.
wow, but it's good. You already know that. Your self-awareness, you already know that.
Oh yeah, I've been a fitness trainer. I was a marathoner. Did track. Was a
Really?
triathlete. Played baseball.
Wow,
A bunch of things, martial arts.
wow, that's great. So what I'm looking for is to help, because first of all, I was very impressed with your wife, Lucy. Okay, her English level, her enthusiastic about life, and also the strength to overcome difficulties in her life. Okay, and then she is a very a participant that engaged in, like, we have I don't know how much Lucy told you about these days what we have done.
Not too much.
Why you guys not communicate? So, okay, actually, Jimmy, tell me, okay, you tell me it's kind of like a little bit frustrating, right? It's because you put so much effort to be creative, to be, become a filmmaker or director and things for your whole life. However, you haven't have any published or, the things that you want to, and you're still working on that. That's very good to show that you're persistent. And also you work so many things, you seems like you are very well prepared in life. However, right now, because this is also unexpected for Lucy's situation, I think that maybe last October or what?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's kind of like a surprise, it's shock, right? Because when you're just thinking about life and there's something happened unexpected, so you might think about why God, why God treat me like that or blah, blah, blah. I think I love to hear a lot of things when you are at that time you heard about, because now it's kind of like a time heals, right? So I love to hear about that. And also for yourself, I don't know anything about you too, but I just let you know, I am myself claimed in personal level, I am a body, mind, and spirit healer. Okay. It's not, there's no, and I got certification for the hypnosis lately. And before I know the hypnosis is just, okay, maybe Jimmy, you know about what is hypnosis? Do you know? What does they do?
Hypnosis?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm familiar with
Well,
what
that
it does.
tell me what it does.
Well, basically, it explores, it allows the subconscious mind or the mind, all the things that are suppressed, to kind of play themselves out. Somebody talk.
Wow, that's so great. That's so great. So, 3 months ago, I didn't even know about this. I thought hypnosis makes people go to sleep. And now you can mention that subconsciousness. It's so wonderful. Wow, the life is so gorgeous. It's so wonderful. Now I connect with the person, the teacher I learned from. And she is one very famous, the most influential Chinese hypnotist in the nation. Okay. And she also recognized by the Association for Hypnosis, American National Hypnosis Association. And she is also an actor. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know whether you guys are probably people with a connection with the actor, with film or something like that. It's all very smart. You have a lot of imaginations, right? So actually, I'm just looking at her movie. But if you understand, you can have Lucy to translate. Lucy. Actually, this person called Stephanie Ho. She is also in the group. Because in the group, I invite all the people from my elementary school through right now. So cross 60 years of the history. I invite all my great friends, in the group. So actually, you know what, Jimmy, I really, 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 really think that God loves you so much. You know why? Because something you feel bad and you don't see the hope that your dream can be realized in your lifetime. Am I right? Am I right, Jimmy? Jimmy, am I right?
Yes.
Yeah. So now the reason I'm saying that God loves you so much and the universe loves you so much is that there is something asks you to play an important role that you can utilize all the skills, all the talents that you developed over the years for your entire life so far. And in terms of health-wise, you do know that the fat of itself, because you're unhappy, because you're worried about, what it will be the next day. Okay, what is the next day, next year? So you're living like a day-by-day situation. It's hard, especially during this coronavirus period time. Okay. So how a life can realize dream, even we don't know what the food can be put on table next day. So this is a very, 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 very difficult time for both of you. So your illness, both you and Lucy, are the results of those situations. It's not that there's a connection between that. But right now, both of you, I don't think you can make the connection. Am I right?
Well, I know that everything has to do with everything else. So part of why we're in this situation is something that we lived already. Yes.
And I would love to, but yeah, you're right. You mentioned a little bit about, something you need to take care of already before, right? So that's you're wonderful, wonderful. So even that, you're very well prepared for that wonderful, wonderful opportunity that you never dreamed of. Okay. So let me describe the things, okay? The future, the vision, all right, in our connections. So now, because Lucy, you need to remind me what time we met each other, but a long time ago, and then when you just came to the States, I think of 10 years ago, I think.
Yeah, we connected, I would say at least 10 years ago.
Yeah, that's amazing. So starting from now on, Jimmy, you are ready to write another play. Okay, the real play in life. And this play, after we all together work together, and this play will make you famous, not only within the States, but also will be in China. All right. So you don't know anything about this, right? So isn't that like what, science fiction or not? But this is not science fiction. This is documentary. Okay. The fact itself isn't that amazing. I met Lucy, even though we haven't seen each other, but we know each other 10 years ago. And now we kind of like feel like a soulmate, and yesterday, and it's a very funny. We're talking about the name, and she mentioned that she loves my name, and because my name is Chinese name is called Bai Ming. And then she said because it can read aloud, call loud, and something like that. And I remind my mom. My mom gave me the name just because that some easy, simple, and you can call in. If my mom called me.
Her name translated into English, 100 birds singing.
Wow. And also, did you tell him about the connection between me and your name?
So basically, her name inspired me to create a new Chinese name for me. It's 100 languages, 100 overcome. Basically, 100 languages is because I love languages, right? So overcome means overcome all the difficulties, hardships in life. So overcome overwhelmingly 100 of them, the difficulties. So that together is connected to her name. It all start with 100.
Wow, that's so amazing. You're so gorgeous. You're so creative,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So my email is actually 100 lingo.
Really? Wow.
I started the business in 2004. So
it's a language business, right?
Years.
Language business. Wonderful.
Because I love languages, I wanted to know all the majority of the languages in the whole world, right? So to get to know all the major the native speakers who speak all those different languages. So that's basically when I see your name, the name your mom gave you, I just like it inspired me to create this new name for myself, which is 100 languages and overcome 100 of hardships. Overcome.
Wow. And this time is different from any time before because we work together. We overcome difficulties in your life together. All right.
Yeah.
And then also another connection is that because my Chinese name, there's a start with B, right? So in our class, when I was back to 30 years ago, in Fudan University, and we have an English class, and we have an English teacher from America, and he helped us to name everyone and give us like an English name. So because my name, there's a start with B, so he figured out Elizabeth may be the most like closest one to me. So
Yeah.
you know Elizabeth is also your wife's English name, right?
So yeah, she was named Elizabeth when she was a student in China in the university, and I was given the name Elizabeth when I first time in the United States by my father-in-law.
Wow, by your father-in-law?
By my father-in-law, yeah, my
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
That's a name. So you.
So yeah, we definitely are connected.
And also not only that, Lucy, not only that, I have my dream. I came to, sorry, I just delay so much. I'm just to try to tell you a little bit about myself because we have to finish it, right? Because otherwise you're tired. And 30 more-ish ago, and I become a student in the Department of International Relations, International Politics Department in Fudan University. Okay, one of the best, like Harvard, MIT, like that.
Fudan University, honey, is like similar to Harvard in China.
Okay, and then I become after my 4 years bachelor degree, I continue with my master's degree, and then I become a lecturer in the same department and teaching the international politics.
Mm-hmm.
All right. But after that, and I came to the States and I went to Cornell University, and I studied some kind of like a public affairs, and I want to know how the U.S. government to run the programs, run the country. Right. So then I started, because the U.S. is different from China in terms of methods to evaluate things. So they have a lot of surveys, like studies, and also they asked for third party instead of just Chinese Communist Party say this is what, So I learned a lot for program evaluation. And then when I was become after graduate and I left at Cornell University, I worked as a survey manager for a survey research institute for Cornell University under economic and the research institute. So, but afterwards, and I got 3 major projects. One is to help University of George Washington University. There's a department of spirituality under the medical school in George Washington University. So I was helped the department chair to conduct a survey among the oncologists to see what their needs for dealing with the cancer patients. Okay, this is a great. I did it for 3 years. Okay, and then another project is I write a proposal for an open bidding in the U.S. market. Okay, and I myself, not even with my husband, help and use my second language, and I won a project to evaluate U.S. Army organizational assessment. And I got a chance to meet female general who is even shorter than me, and to manage all the team. Yeah. So I conduct survey among all the soldiers in 7 countries where U.S. has the troops over there. Okay. So that's the second one. And the third one is I worked as a PJM company, which is wholesale company for U.S. eastern part of those states. So they have a lot of just like, they have a lot of customers. It's like a business partners. It's not like individual. So they asked me, it's funny, that was the time that I was laid off, not laid off because it's China, Cornell University has two parts. One is public side and the one's private side. So public side at the year of 2009, and the US is become, economies start to decline. So the public side, they don't have money to support. So our office had to be closed. So I'm smart enough. I let all these professors and who are working with me in the past, my capacity, and I continue to work with them in my new capacity as a survey intelligence CEO. So that's how I started my own first business. So one door closed, another door is open. I believe that. I don't even worry about that. And that time, my son was only 8 or 9 years old. Actually, my son is also artist of nature. He loves the music and do the break dancing, and now he's a like a documentary director in China. And he wanted to document, do a lot. And actually, I'm thinking about at some point in time, you two maybe can work together and work on a film about your own life. Okay, I think that writing your own life is much more meaningful than write horror. I know you just make up some stories, right? So why spend time on that? Why not spend time on writing about your wife, your beautiful wife, your smart wife? She has a lot of stories. She doesn't have anybody to write, right? So I'm here, I have a lot of resources so those, I'm so excited about that. But I'm also same as you, right? So we're at the stage of our probably 1/4 of our life, right? So maybe 30 years more than 30 years to go. So because we have a lot of experiences and we build up our talents and skills and capacities, we're not ready to retire, but we want to have a new life, a life that we want ourselves, a life that we never had before, a life with filled with so much excitement and happiness. So my goal is to live for the last 1/4 of time to live a life with the best version of myself. And I think we work together, and I think it's a very good story from that right now you are living day by day to a stage, I think within my expectations within a couple of years. Okay, so I'm looking at Lucy will be cancer-free. Okay, Lucy will be starting to have her own programs to enjoy open, talking about the language. Oh, by the way, that's another connection, because I was international politics, right? And I came here, cross country. And now my dream is to build up a team with all the different nationalities who right now suffer a lot as you two. You're not alone. I just want to say Jim and Lucy. Okay.
Because I feel pretty much alone.
Yeah, that's exactly. I want later on, because I learned so much. Okay, in terms of so much, I tell you, in the past half a century, I learned so much things useless. When my mom passed away at the age of 64, which is younger than me right now, and there's no knowledge. I didn't know how to help at all. My father died of diabetes with all the organ failure. Another friend of mine, which Lucy also heard mentioned several times, he died at the age of 50 on his birthday because of the later stage of lung cancer. Because of all those situations, I realized that I need to set up a platform. The platform called the Global Chinese Health, which had already been many, many years, but in a very informal way, okay? Because being a Chinese, I just don't think I can go back because I don't, some kind of things I feel like I fit more in America. Okay, I love my second home country. Okay, as Lucy does, right? So we have here, we have the freedom, we have here just to create creativity, you could dream it. If something you didn't realize it, it's yourself, it's not somebody else. Okay, so right now I thank God, very thankful for the opportunity that we met at this point in time. Not early, not late, but now. Okay, so together, I set up today, you really, really help me. Today is the first session that I decide, starting from today, I want to spend 1 hour every day with you, and now with Lucy and her husband, because I've just learned that your husband also have some health issue. When I mentioned that all the half a century, I didn't learn anything useful, but only a year, even less, I learned something very useful, which is telling me on Earth, there's 96% of things, illness are related to spirituality and related to your mind and the body rather than the body. So the body's illness is a result of the unhealthy habit, or we not necessarily unhealthy, but we don't know because that's not our major. Even though even doctors major, doctor never learn those kind of things, right? So even the doctor, some die early or whatever. So why? They don't know, right? So I learned so much great things and very useful things these days, and I feel very proud of myself, and also are willing to share my knowledge, real useful knowledge with all the people that I love, I care, and we have the fate together with. So now, that's why we're here, and that's why we are talking. So today is a wonderful time. You know, Lucy said, well, this is too much or whatever, you're worried about something. And I tell you, there's one thing, okay. And also let me tell you, because people trust me, and I already successfully helped so many cancer patients, other people. And I know, and right now I also learned something that even helped. And Jimmy, have you heard something called MS, multiple sclerosis?
Yes.
Do you know whether there's a cure? No cure.
Not yet.
Yeah, but we do. We helped one person when this new technology that I will have another session tomorrow and with you. And this is from German, and this person is called Marcus, okay? And he is a genius as you are, okay? He play a chess, he doesn't need to look at the map, okay? And then at the age of 30 or something, he found the difficulties in life. And I don't think the difficulties is smaller than you guys, even bigger. So at that time, he didn't quit. He didn't lose the hope. He left Germany, Berlin, and he he flew to India. In India, he stayed for 12 years. Okay, so, and become a monk. So over there, he learned so many things and learning about the relationship between body, mind, and spirit. Okay, so this is what his life goal and want to help people to understand that. And he also developed the device, which right now is also approved by the US FDA as a small second class of medical device. And this device help people connect with body and mind and spirit. Okay, I can tell you, you see do you feel like I'm depressed, Jimmy?
Huh?
Do you feel I'm depressed?
Do I feel you're depressed now?
Yes, but can you imagine? Can you imagine? Half a year ago, I was so depressed. Even 3 months ago, even 2 months ago. Okay. And I was so depressed, I'm thinking about something I don't want to do. Okay. Because why? I think I had the similar situation as you do, because we spent so much time. We went to college, and my parents just raised me, and they want to have me have a whole better life and come here, right? And everybody here deal with a lot of difficulties, right? But at the age of 60s, we almost complete our life, but we're not satisfied what we have right now. Yeah, so that's how we are on the same boat, right? Just because I get out of the boat right now. And now I have so much energy, okay? And I will tell other people my story. There's a hope. Not only hope, the life will be better than ever that you have experienced. Okay, so again, my describe to you is that we will be a team that we connect all the people with all these different nationalities, even include Americans, okay? And we want to run the program on Zoom meeting, and we'll tell stories, tell our real story, okay? A real story, how we came, why we came, and even the fact that how we met with each other. All right, so how we interact each other, and now how we have a new group. Okay, by the way, Jimmy, you know Mother Teresa, right?
Who?
Mother
Teresa.
Yeah. Do you know in the group, and one of our teacher mentioned one of her quote is called "Life is a song, sing it." Have you heard that?
Yeah.
You haven't heard. So because encouraged by that, and also because encouraged by Lucy's attitudes, to deal with difficulties, I was so in touch, and I study further, and I'm going to run a talk about Mother Teresa. All right, so life is a song. Let's sing it. I just need to say, let's sing it together. So that's how our first day of the song started. And now I'm going to wrap it up, and just to say thank you for both of you. And yeah, and because the connection, we will make a movie. The conductor will be Jimmy Chase. Okay. Yeah. And the actor will be Lucy. Okay. And because the fact, Lucy, you just made a story about our name change, everything. That's already a story. So you just summarize this and tell detail to Jim Chase. That's a story already there. We haven't started, right? All right. And then we will tell people how you get sick and how to avoid sick. and how to live a beautiful life with not only beautiful face, handsome face, but healthy body, as you used to be, even stronger as a gym coach. We need a gym coach. We want to know how the body, our muscle have built. Okay.
Right.
And now I'm also equipped with all those, and I'm the founder for the Global Chinese Health. And you know what, Jimmy, you can help me. Yesterday, I talked to Lucy about it. What is the mission statement for the Global Chinese Health? Lucy, I didn't even have a chance to talk to you about that. Now I come up, I come up with the idea. Okay, listen, Jimmy, you listen, okay? Here is one. The mission of the Global Chinese Health is to empower people to improve their lives in body, mind, and spirit. How's that? So you can think, yeah, so you can think through it, and then you can just think about later on. So now I want Lucy together with me, or Lucy, you can yourself, you just become yourself and you sing the song called 橄榄树. How's that? How's that? Okay, you want me to sing together with you, or you just sing? I think you sing. Hello? Hold on. 那个 呀，等一下，我现在在那个网上面，我现在要跟那个Lucy 啊 ，Lucy 是我们现在那个要一起唱一首歌，叫《橄榄树》。
那你先忙。
好的，好 ，OK。Lucy，Oops， 挂掉了。